Shalom Yeladim! It's time to learn the Parsha. This week we have two Parshiot, Tazria and Mitzvah. The Parsha of the week is Tazria and Mitzvah. Tazria and Mitzvah. Tazria and Mitzvah. The Parsha of the week is Tazria and Mitzvah. Tazria and Mitzvah. Do you know in which Sefer Tazria and Mitzvah are? They are in the Sefer of Vayikra. Bereshit Shmot Vayikra. Bamidbar and Devarim. These are 5 Chumashim of the Torah. Bereshit Shmot Vayikra. Bamidbar and Devarim. These are 5 Chumashim of the Torah. Bereshit Shmot Vayikra, Bamidbar and Devarim. These are 5 Chumashim of the Torah. Your turn. Bereshit Shmot Vayikra, Bamidbar and Devarim. These are 5 Chumashim of the Torah. Well, this week's Parsha starts with a very important mitzvah. It is the mitzvah of Brit Milah. Do you know who had the first Brit Milah ever? Avram Avinu. Remember when Hashem did Bikur Cholim for Avram? It was after he had his Brit Milah. But Avram, he had his Brit Milah when he was very, very old. The Torah tells us that really a Brit Milah is done 8 days after a baby is born. And it's the responsibility, it's the job of an Abba and Ima to make sure that that happens. When a boy has a Brit Milah, that makes him part of Klal Yisrael. It makes him a Yehudi. It makes him very special. All during the years, Abbas and Imas always strived. They always tried really hard to do the mitzvah of Brit Milah. There were many times when there were non-Jewish soldiers or non-Jewish emperors who made life for the Jewish people very hard. They didn't let them do mitzvot. They didn't let them learn Torah. Like Antiochus, remember? Didn't let them learn Torah. Didn't let them keep Shabbat. And for sure did not allow them to do the mitzvah of Brit Milah. The non-Jewish Roman emperors and the non-Jewish Greek kings, they wanted the Jewish people to be just like them. They did not want them to do a Brit Milah, because a Brit Milah would show and remind every Jewish boy and every Jewish man that they were a servant of Hashem and that they had to listen to his Torah. I'm going to tell you a story now about 2 very special women and a Brit Milah. A long time ago, in the time of the Roman emperor, the Jewish people were very, very sad. They were having such a difficult time being Yehudim. The Roman emperor made very many decrees and rules, not allowing the Jewish people to live like Yehudim. And one of the rules that he said was that there would be no Brit Milah. The Jewish people were not afraid of the Roman emperor. They were only afraid of Hashem. They would not listen to the Roman emperor. They were going to give Brit Milah to their children. But they did it very secretly, with very few people. And when the soldiers were not watching. Most of the time, that was fine, and it worked. But one day, a young couple had a baby. They went to do a secret Brit Milah, and on the way back, a soldier, a Roman soldier, stopped them. "Hey, let me see your baby." And the Jewish mommy and daddy did not have a choice. And the Roman soldier saw that the baby had had a Brit Milah. "You do not listen to the rules of the emperor. You will have to travel to the emperor with your baby." The Jewish mommy and daddy started to cry. They knew that this was going to be such a dangerous, dangerous journey, that they could be killed, and their baby too. All along the traveling in the wagon, the Jewish mommy cried, and the Jewish Abba cried, over and over again, crying out to Hashem, "Hashem, please, we tried to do your mitzvot. We did your mitzvah of Brit Milah, and now we're going to die." They cried and cried and cried. Soon the driver had had enough travel time, and the horses needed a break. And they stopped by a little inn, like a little hotel. When the Jewish mommy and daddy walked into the hotel, the lady who was in charge of the hotel welcomed them so nicely. But she could not help but notice that the faces of the Abba and the Ima were all puffy and red. They'd been crying the whole way. The woman was a kind-hearted lady, and she called the Ima to the side and said, "What is wrong? How can I help you?" The Jewish mommy knew that the news would come out anyway, and so she said to the innkeeper, "I have to tell you that we are about to die. We are going to the Roman emperor with our new baby boy who has had a Brit Milah. And now we are going to die, and my baby is going to die." The kind Roman woman listened very carefully, and she said, "Wait, I have an idea. I have a baby who is also 8 days old. My baby is a Roman baby. My baby does not have a Brit Milah. We will switch babies. I will give you my baby, and you will give me your baby, and you will go to the emperor." The Jewish woman could not believe her ears. Of course she would do that. And so they switched their babies. When they got in front, when the Abba and the Ima arrived in front of the emperor said, "Bring that baby forward. You should be ashamed of yourselves, not listening to the rules of the emperor." The emperor took the baby and undressed the baby. And to his surprise, no Brit Milah. "Oh, I'm so sorry. I made you come on this trip with a brand new baby. There must be a mistake here. I will punish that soldier who told me a lie. And you young woman and young man, I will reward you with presents, with gold and silver and jewelry." And that's what the emperor did. He rewarded them with presents, and they started back on their journey. Well, where do you think they went to? Of course, they went to the inn. As soon as they got to the inn, the kind-hearted woman looked at the Abba and the Ima and saw great smiles and great joy on their faces. And then they switched the babies. The Roman woman took her baby back, and the Jewish woman took her baby back. The Jewish mommy and daddy could not thank the Roman woman enough for the kindness that she did for them. Do you know that those two babies grew up to be such special people? Do you know why they grew up to be special people? Because the Jewish mommy wanted to do the mitzvos of Hashem. And the Roman mommy did chesed, an unbelievable chesed and kindness. The Roman mommy, her son became an emperor, a ruler, the most honored person in Rome. His name was Antoninus. And the Jewish mommy, her son became Rabbi Yehuda Hanassi, the Rebbe who wrote the Shisha Sidrei Mishnah. Wow. Two great people. And guess what? They stayed friends forever. The Gemara tells us stories of Rebbe and Antoninus and the discussions that they had and the thoughts and the questions that they answered. What an amazing, amazing thing. All because of the mitzvah of Brit Milah. We should only share in lots of simchos. There should be many children born and many little boys to have Brit Milah in the future. Have a good Shabbos.